So this will be a short video, won't even be part of a series. It's about adding a day-night cycle to your game. Now, you can be really far into your game and say, oh gee, I'd really like to add the day-night cycle, but it's too late. More than likely, it is not too late because the ability to add functionality just by creating a new script that handles that functionality, you don't have to tear apart everything that you've already done. So, to demonstrate, I just dropped in some images from another folder, and you don't have to worry about these are just the rain snow videos that I did before. They'll have no impact on this project. So as you can see, we're in an empty scene. I'm just gonna drag the background into the scene, set the order in the layer to -1, and that way everything else will automatically be at 1. And then we just drag and drop them in. The names are odd because these are actually frames from animation sequences, so that's why there you have seems to have a strange naming convention. Their actual position doesn't matter, but we'll line them up if, say, it's like an RPG or a tactical game. So you've decided that you want a day-night cycle. What you do is you create your script. So you just right-click, choose Create, C#. We'll call this day, night cycle. And as I've said before, the exact name really doesn't matter, but it helps you keep track of what each script does. Okay, so you have your script. Let's go ahead and open that up. Now, what we're going to do is first we're going to create just 2 variables. So, as you've seen in my other videos, public float total time. So we're going to be tracking how much time is passing. And it's going to start at 0. And the other one is public float RG. The RG stands for red and green. Because to do a simple day-night cycle, all you're doing is you're removing the red and green component, leaving just blue. You can tweak that if maybe you want to be a little bit more purple, whatever. But that's a very quick way to do it. And as always, you can always, once you see the basics, you can always just tweak it to make it more what you want. Now I'm just going to paste this to save typing, but I'll explain it line by line. It is actually surprisingly short. Okay, first line, no surprise. Total time plus equals time.delta time. As we've discussed in the other videos, this is the variable. This says that we're adding something, and this says to whatever the current value is. So whatever the current value of total time is, we're adding this to it, time.delta time, so the change in time. Typical if statement, if, open parenthesis, total time, so there's that variable, is greater than 1, close parenthesis. Very simple. Just we're not checking 2 variables this time or 2 values. We're only checking 1. We're just seeing if it exceeds 1 second. Now in your game, this is going to be a much larger number. The total time may be 5, 10, 15, 30 seconds. This is just for demonstrative purposes. That way you don't have to watch for 20 minutes to see the day and night rise. You can see it much quicker. So if total time exceeds 1, then we need the brackets. RG plus equals 0.02f. Since this is being used in a vector, well, not just the vector, but usually if you're using a fraction, you have to put in the letter f. I say fraction, but decimal. Total time is equal to 0. So we're incrementing this value, this variable, and we're setting total time back to 0. So that way, this only occurs once every second. Now let's see what RG does. Outside of this, so with every frame, get component will be addressed. Get component, what component? Well, the sprite renderer. Okay, what attribute of the sprite renderer? Color. And what are we doing with color? We're creating a new color. And now here's where it all comes together. RG, RG, 1. RG starts off as 0. So red is 0, green is 0, blue is 1. So you have 100% of blue and 0% of everything else. So as these two increase, ultimately if the default color is 111, 100% red, green, blue. And so what you're doing is you're incrementing it by that amount. Just save this. Now, how do you apply it to everything? Well, that's actually really easy. You can just highlight multiple objects, and then you just drag and drop that script right on top of it. And so now, it's not like you have to go into each and every single object. You've created functionality within a script, and you just apply that script to the different objects. Now we'll run it. As you can see, it's just within the range of perception that you can see where it actually changes. So, not as clean as what you'll see in a 3D game, but certainly if you're going again for this 2D kind of old school look, then it certainly does handle the night and day cycle. That's about it. Like I said, short video standalone. And so it's one of the great versatile aspects of Unity, the fact that you can just change something major like that. So that should about do it.